Yes, I'm all set. If you want to switch back to 3, I'm good now.
I'll let you know. I'll look at the schedule and then let you know. Yeah.
Whatever you want to do.
Okay.
I'm free
Okay.
on Tuesdays.
Okay. Welcome to the hearing for the Board of Health on November the 25th. I would like to ask Vanessa to do the roll call for the quorum purposes.
Tom Lee,
Present?
Dr. Lesko,
Present.
Dr. Guadagnoli,
Present.
Dr. Caniff,
Present.
Dr. Beer, Dr. Waller. Health staff, Tom McKean,
Here.
and myself, Vanessa Tripp. Thank you.
Thank you. And we have the quorum. This meeting is being recorded and broadcast on the Town of Barnstable's Government's Access Channel. In accordance with the Mass General Law, Chapter 38, Section 20, please let the chair know if anyone is designed to make such a recording on transmissions. Hearing none. The first item on the agenda is the tobacco violation. The first one is Mohammed Status, owner representing A.J. Marks, 459 Main Street, Hyannis, map parcel 308-083. On September the 30th, 2025, favorite products or favorite enhancer, including mint, menthol flavor, were sold at store and signature were missing.
Signage.
Signage. Let me go to Bob first. Bob, welcome. Make sure your mic is on.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chair, members of the board. It's during a routine retail inspection conducted on September 30th, 2025. We found several flavored products in this retailer establishment, mostly what we would consider flavor enhancers, and also several flavored vape products that don't necessarily contain nicotine, but under state law, the interpretation is that anything that can otherwise be smoked or vaped may not be flavored. So these are in direct violation of that. And they're also, it's outside of our purview, but they're also, these products are supposed to be, are not supposed to be carried in local convenience stores. They're supposed to be in adult-only establishments that are overseen and regulated by the Cannabis Control Commission.
These are marijuana products, some of them?
The THC, cannabis, cannabinoids.
Any question from the board members to Bob? No? Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Please identify yourself. Is your mic on? Push the button. The green light.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, sounds better.
Attorney Thomas Souza for Mohammed Sattar. Yeah, we're not here we're not in opposition as to what was found. Mr. Sattar does not spend a lot of time at that store. He has somebody else run it for him. I think he's learned a valuable lesson that he needs to pay a little bit closer attention as to what's going on there. So with that in mind, you know, he is sorry. He's removed all of those type of things from the store. We understand that the board's hands are pretty tied as to what action they have to take here. It is a first offense. He hasn't had any offenses in the past. So with that, we would ask for the normal $1,000 fine for a first offense and a 1-day suspension to be carried out on Christmas Day.
You read my mind.
I object to suspension on Christmas Day. It should be on a normal work day. Thank you.
Should be a normal work day. Don?
Were there any flavored tobacco products in there?
Not per se, but flavored,
Right.
flavor enhancers.
And those you've gotten rid of totally?
Yeah, they're wraps.
Right, but
yeah.
you're not selling them at all anymore? No. So you're essentially not selling them 365 days a year already?
Correct.
So what are we suspending for a day? I mean,
For
the
the first
$1,000 fine, I understand, but
for the first offense.
Well, if I may, the sale of flavored enhancers under state law, it mandates the suspension.
Yeah.
So these are considered flavor enhancers, the wraps that were flavored.
But you're not selling them at all anymore.
Well,
No, they weren't
they're
at the
not
time.
available
So what
anymore
are we
after the
restricting him
inspection.
from selling on Christmas Day or any other day?
Any tobacco products whatsoever.
Do you sell tobacco products?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, I would move that we do Christmas Day, but that was predictable.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Make sure you work with your staff. Don't come back on the second time.
Thank you.
The second one is Asim Jamel, owner representing Mini Food Mark, 252 Main Street, Hyannis, map parcel 327-127. On September the 30th, 2025, favorite products, Dutch Gold Fusions Cigarro, or favorite enhancer, including mint menthol flavor, were sold at store. Bob?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. So, yes, again, on September 30th, 2025, 12:30 p.m., during a routine retail inspection, I did discover the presence of Dutch Gold Fusion, which is a known flavored cigarillo product. Tastes like chocolate. And it was found on the shelf there. And I notified the person on duty at the time that was a flavored product, and they'd be hearing from the board for this violation.
Thank you, Bob.
Yes, so my name is Asim Jamal. I'm representing Mini Food Mart, 252 Main Street, Hyannis. So I think the gentleman came in. My brother was working, and he came in. He said, "You can sell Dutch Gold Fusion." I have 50 kinds of Dutch that I'm selling in the store. I don't know if they are flavored. They're coming from the wholesale people, and they say, but we took it out. We say can't sell it. You told him to take it out. The smooth too.
Right.
We put it on the side, and then we got a ticket for it, which
Not for the smooth and
I know, but we have like 2,000 stuff, and I got all the invoices. I don't know which one is flavored and which one we do. I don't smoke. so
That's why I always advise everybody to check with us when there's a product that you have any questions about, and that's one that's been known to be flavored for several years now. This board has had to penalize other retailers in the past for the same product.
But my question is, why the retailers always got banned? You should go for the wholesalers who are sending us this
Right? No,
product.
I can't. I don't.
Nobody
disagree
goes
with
to
that.
them. We are the
Right.
small mom and pop stores, and we
And-
get
That's correct. You are, and I get that. And I
20
actually
years I
empathize
never
with
had.
that.
I've been running this store for 2007 by myself. Never had a single ticket, never. And I don't know how I'm going to take this right now. Because I have so much product that I don't know what is inside. When they say open, it smells like chocolate, but it doesn't say on it.
Right. So you
It says
right.
Palma, I don't know what is vanilla or something. I don't know. Red sweet is what. But this is coming from the wholesalers to us on the invoices. I bring the invoices too. So if they are allowed to sell us, why we get punished for it?
Right. Well, because the state law doesn't call for the enforcement to be directed at either the wholesalers or the manufacturers, which I think it should be. Unfortunately, and I always say this in my conversations with all of you guys, and I'm sure some of the guys here in the audience could vouch for that, is that you're the person at the end of the line and the one that takes the hit when there's an illegal product sold. The distributors are responsible for providing letters from the manufacturers, from a company officer stating that the products are not flavored. But unfortunately, most of the time, not most of the time, but on occasion, there are some products that whose letters are not accurate. The products are tested a couple times a year, new products that come on the market for characteristic flavors, and we've told people in the past over and over again about the Dutch Fusion products. They're all flavored except for silver and one or two other flavors, one or two other varieties. And I've been telling people for 2 or 3 years now about the backwoods stuff, but there'll be a letter coming out soon specifically about that because the distributor keeps,
Yeah, but I never
providing
get a letter for Dutch Gold
Right.
Fusion at the store.
Well, you're supposed to
But right
receive.
now, you took this one off. I don't know, going forward, you tell me tomorrow there's another ticket coming for this?
No, because I've been educating people for years about those, and I find that stuff around in several places.
But is it just specific some stores, or is going
No,
for everybody? Because
everybody.
after you give me a ticket, I went to a lot of stores, and it's still on the shelf.
Sir,
And then-
I think if you polled this room, you would find that everybody in here would tell you that I'm very fair and I give, just educate most of the time. And this is a situation where the product that in question is one that's been known to be flavored for quite some time.
Thank you, Bob.
Thank you.
Any question from the board member? So for the first offense, would be like 1,001 day suspension on the Christmas day.
I'll take that.
Could I have a motions?
So moved.
All in favor? Aye. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Again, I recommend if you have a product that comes in and you're not sure about it, to contact us.
I think it's unfair for us. We are not big
That's an
retailers.
issue for your-
We are mom and pop stores. We are trying to survive here.
I understand.
It's a struggle, and then you're not going for the big guys, big fishes, and we are the one who get punished for it, which is unfair.
The state is working on developing a plan to work with the wholesalers.
They probably have good
The
lawyers.
distributors.
They can
Sir.
fight where
Yeah,
we
you can
can't.
talk.
Mr. Collette
Sorry.
did not make the law. That's a problem to bring to your legislator.
Yep.
It's not a problem for him to be able to solve or for us to be able to solve. We don't disagree with you, but
Why
he
should
didn't
she
make
get a
the
break
law
for it?
because it's Massachusetts and it's not a real business-friendly state.
I understand. Thank you very much.
Thank you. The second item is the regulations, and there's a multiple amendments to be proposed for the tobacco regulations restricting the sale of the nicotine products. Bob can explain that a little bit, but I'm not going to take a vote tonight, and I think we need a little bit more time to go and digest that, what the proposal is. It may be in December or in January. I have to take a look at the agenda and then talk to Tom McKeon to schedule that. Bob, go ahead.
Yes, thank you, Chairman Lee. This is, a draft model regulation that the Department of Public Health provides for all local boards of health for consideration to upgrade their local regulations to bring them up to statewide minimum standard, and in some instances, advance a little beyond what the state requires. So this checklist on the front page is a list of things that the state suggests that you have included in your local regulations. They're evidence-based, they're legally sound, they go through a rigorous legal review process, and are not just suggested, in a meeting of 4 people. They're a long time. There's a lot of time to consider these and to suggest them based on, again, the effectiveness of these in protecting the public health. And as the purveyors of public health for the town of Barnstable, I would suggest that you take a look at these seriously and consider them for an upgrade on your current regulations, which I don't think the board has really touched or worked on in about 6-7 years, at least. So it's kind of time to at least bring the local regs up to the same level as the state law, and then to add whatever you think might be important to it, and we'll go from there. So, if you look at.
That's why I'm suggesting to take some time for us to kind of looking at this.
Yes, you should have a
And then
discussion about it in a
go
public
away.
hearing
Yeah.
prior to any vote.
Right.
Yeah, so it would not be responsible to come here and just say, okay, let's vote on this right now.
Yeah.
You need to give the public an opportunity to provide some input on this, and for you to do some research or consult with me or our legal staff at DPH to explain any of these components or provisions, and go from there. So I'm happy to, a lot of these already exist in your current regs. I'm not sure about the number 1, the no permit renewal, if there are any outstanding fines. So this, if there's an outstanding fine that's not paid by the end of the calendar year at the time of permit renewal, a given retailer would not be able to renew their permit for the following year until such time as the fine is paid.
I will say that every fine has been paid so far. That we
Sure, and I'm sure they are, but this would give you, would give the town some leverage here by withholding a permit if somebody chose to forego payment. Also, number two, what that means is, it's pretty self-explanatory. So if you have 3 sales to a person under the age of 21, you can set a time, tolling period for this, just like with all of the other penalties. Say it's 3 years, or actually, I believe that this one is intended to be in the period of 1 year. So if you had 3 sales in 1 year, then that would result in an automatic revocation of your permit at the end of the year.
And we haven't had that instance.
Right.
We had a couple months ago, we had 3 sales in the
Yeah.
tolling period of
This
2
would be
years or 3
a
years.
fairly egregious behavior if this were to happen, because
Right.
once there's a violation, we recheck typically 3 to 6 months later, and then if there were a subsequent violation, we would do the same thing again. So to get 3 in 1 year would be
Egregious, yeah.
egregious, right? Number 3, of course, you already have that on any person under the age of 21, and then there's the nicotine-free generation option, which provides that after a certain date to be determined by the Board of Health, no one, if you're born after that date, would ever be able to buy tobacco in the town. So it's something that's happening up in the greater Boston area with, some regularity now. There are a couple of towns out in the Berkshires, and at the Mass Association of Health Officers conference a couple of weeks ago, several local agents here on the Cape expressed interest in entertaining this at least. So it's something that, it would be the ultimate goal, I think, of anybody who is interested in eliminating tobacco sales altogether. Eventually, it wouldn't impact anybody who currently uses tobacco legally, but would eventually remove it from the retail environment altogether. And,
This was a big topic at our recent Mass Health Officers Conference in October out in Springfield. Yeah, this was a topic. Dr. Howard Coe talked about it, and several times there were some training sessions about it. Yarmouth is also looking into this in December as well, and perhaps January. So my interest would be do this at the same time as Yarmouth, if possible, if you're interested, similar to how we did years ago.
it would make sense, yeah.
Yeah, when we went smoke-free in bars and restaurants, we went together with the town of Yarmouth at the same time. So just something to consider here. Thank you.
So to be clear, we're talking about a prohibition on any nicotine products in a state where we have recently legalized marijuana shops with
That is a
incredibly
problem.
high potency
Yes.
THC products that send people to the emergency room.
Yes. I
Send
agree.
people to the emergency room on a regular basis with either psychotic breakdowns or cannabinoid hyperemesis syndrome or all sorts of other serious problems. And now we're saying that people can't use Zyn pouches?
I think we should. I
Okay.
would like to see
Just
more
wanna be
action
clear on that.
on what you're talking about, too. I would like to see more action if possible.
Prohibition has never worked in this country.
So, yeah, it would be an argument to use, during a discussion in a public hearing, and it's valid, so. The next one would be the next 3 are density strategies that have been found to be very effective, so that you don't have tobacco retailers on every corner in a certain part of town or what have you, and it wouldn't affect existing retailers, but at the time when a retailer moves on and there's an empty space there, you might not want to issue a permit there to kind of spread them out a little bit. So no new permits within 500 feet of a school, or 1,000, or 2,000, or 3,000, or more. You check the box there on the one that you would agree on. Yes, Doctor.
Just a question. So if I owned a convenience store that was legally permitted to sell,
Right.
and I sold that, the new owner has to get a new permit, right?
Correct.
So the value of the sale of my store may be impacted by the fact that the new owner can now no longer do what I could do.
Based on the proximity to a school.
Well, yeah, I'm not, the school one I think is a different, but there's one that's based on proximity to other retailers.
Right, that would be the next one, number 5, right, correct. So that, again, right, so if it was being sold, that person would not be able to, the person who's selling the store, the person who's buying the store would not be able to obtain a permit. Yeah.
Okay.
If it were within a certain distance of another retailer. And then number 6 is and several towns have done capping of the number of permits that they allow in town, similar to the way you do with alcohol. So it's not a prohibition, it's just controlling the number of places that are selling the stuff. And typically what we recommend is if you have, I think there are 50-something retailers, let's say there are 56 in town, maybe you set the cap at 58 or 59, and then you slowly retire them over time as people forego their businesses or their permits or what have you. So and then you don't end up with 75 or 85 retailers in town selling tobacco and nicotine delivery products. And then number 7, obviously you're not going to ban smoking bars, which most of the towns do, because you already have one here, so you can't do that. The next 3 things are, I think, important considerations for the board, because they are very effective against it, and again, evidence-based strategies to help eliminate youth access and deter youth from using products, is to include a minimum cigar package size and price, so size and or price. So some places don't allow for single cigarillos to be sold. So you'd have to sell a minimum, let's say a minimum package of 2, and at a minimum price of, say, $5. If you do continue to choose to allow retailers to sell singles, they should be set at a minimum price, which now, according to the Consumer Price Index, should be $2.90 for a minimum, and any package of more than 1 should be set at $5.80 for a minimum, whether it's 2 in the package or 10 or more. So that's one that I would strongly endorse. And then several towns are now limiting or restricting the number of milligrams of nicotine in pouches, which are wildly popular now, especially among young people. And some people are using them in lieu of vaping, smoking. But what's happening here is you have people using the pouches where they otherwise can't smoke. And young people, kids are using these because they don't cause any salivation. It's rapid absorption through the mucosa. You just place it in your mouth, and it doesn't cause any salivation, so you really can't tell that anybody's using the stuff. And the kids don't know that, so they're reporting to the nurse's offices with great regularity with dizziness, nausea, vomiting, tachycardia, all the things that are associated with overdosing on nicotine. And never mind lost class time and lack of concentration, and et cetera. So we're seeing some of these products out there upwards of 18 milligrams per pouch. So, it's a little concerning in that regard. And the alternative to that, if you were to act on these, would to be restrict them to adult-only retailers, and I don't personally support that. I'd rather see, a level playing field for the retailers. You don't want to put these in adult-only places. where they could monopolize the sale of these things. And then lastly, I think you really should consider banning blunt wraps. You're the last town on the Cape that does not ban them, and these are used, to not only to smoke tobacco, of course, marijuana, but the fact that they're used to smoke tobacco by some is a reason to consider that. And again, everybody else has done this, and a lot of the wraps are made from tobacco products. They are tobacco themselves, so they'll take the tobacco and wrap the marijuana, whatever else in it, and use it in that way.
Thanks, Bob.
Okay. And then, of course, the rest of it, you have 11, 12, 13, and 14 in your regulations already. And then for number 15, you'd need to adopt the finding structure system. And there are two options for that. So you'd have, if you took what the state requires and apply it to only what exists currently in the state law, and then leave the non-criminal disposition maximum fine of $300 for the other provisions that are local policies, you could do that. Sometimes do that, and others do it the other way to avoid confusion. They just use the state finding structure for all violations. So you go on 1,000, 2,000, 5,000, etc.
I think
Yep.
that's what we're doing right now, according to the state regulations.
Okay. Well,
We
I
just
don't know.
need to take out what we have now in our town code because it's out of date. It still says 100, 200, 300.
Right. So you could leave that in your regulations to apply to things like a blunt wrap ban, which doesn't exist in the state law. So if someone were to be, found selling blunt wraps, if you were to adopt that provision, or to be selling cigars for less than a minimum price, if you were to adopt that, they would be subject to the $100 fine for the first offense, as opposed to the $1,000 fine that's associated with an illegal sale to a minor or the sale of a flavored product. Are you reading what I'm saying? Okay.
Yep.
So then, number 16, the tolling periods, which most towns have a 36-month tolling period for accumulation of illegal sales to minors or sales of flavored products.
I'm sorry, what's a tolling period?
Tolling period is going back in time 36 months and capturing the number of violations that have occurred during that time.
Thank you.
And then to settle on suspension periods for first violation, second violation, or third or more violations under number 17. And then on 18, and I haven't looked over your regulation recently, but all of your language should use the word shall as opposed to may regarding the language for suspensions. So that they can't be, because that would be reflective of the state law.
Right. That part I understand.
Okay, all right.
The wording on the regulations, right? So, are you all set, Bob?
Yeah, so, I think you should have a meeting. I'm happy to answer any questions about this now, but you should have a discussion about it at some point and a public hearing if you were planning, at which time you can decide to either have a vote right during the meeting or at a following meeting after that.
I know you're not available December for a long workshop, so next year sometime.
It will be probably January. I'll have to take a look on this and then try to schedule something, with Tom and put it on the agenda.
Yeah.
So the public would get notification as far as when are we going to have this discussion and a vote too. This afternoon, we also received a letter from the New England Convenience Store and Energy Marketers Associations for opposing this proposed regulation change. So, any public comment on this one? None?
Somebody back there.
Come on up.
Come on up. Make sure you put your name on that piece of paper there.
Good evening, Board. My name is Paresh Patel, AM PM Convenience Store, Hyannis. I just wanted to discuss this. We are in front of Board over and over many times. We are not here to go against the Board. We are here to work with the Board. The main things, if you guys remember a few years back, the minimum age was 18 years to use a tobacco product. We raised it to 21 years old. We all went by it. So only question I have, like now we are selling the legal product, legal age consumer. So why we are having all these restrictions selling the legal product? Well, in state of Massachusetts, like the fellow mentioned, 21 years old, I brought my son with me and a couple of my nephews. They are old enough to go into a dispensary all day long and get gummies and flavored joint and whatever they want. And he cannot have access to nicotine pouches, which help people. I'm a frontline employee working in my store. So people who use the nicotine pouches and stuff, they're trying to get away from the cigarette. Our cigarette volume and cigar volumes are declining. You can check, or I can bring the statistics on that. They're already going down. You know, the stores we used to do sell 100 carton, we're probably doing 50, 60 cartons a week. So people are trying to change their habit to quit the smoking and get the nicotine pouches or nicotine vape or whatever it is. Like, before the nicotine came into the market, if you remember, and they still do it, like you go to CVS and you buy the nicotine gum or the patch, right? There's no problem doing that. So same concept pretty much. You know, I'm not sure, I'm not a doctor or scientist or anything. So that's the one concern we have. The second concern we have, like, you know, we love to discuss with the board. Like you mentioned about notifying the people. We never get no notification. I'm not sure if the board knows about it or not. There is nothing comes to the store about the meetings. We just found out yesterday, 4 o'clock, from one of our sources that there is a meeting today, and we came together. So that's something I'm not sure. I can request that, you know, if board can give us few days. You have all the database from all the stores, 50 licenses, whatever, everybody's email address or phone numbers or letter or something, because we're never aware of any meetings comes to the board. We have no idea. And then we love to discuss with the board if any way we can do it, because what happened, we come to the board and then we have a public comment and Mr. Collette speak, we come, but there is no interact with the board, like in perspective of the small business owner. You know, we have no lack of communication. There is nothing we can do to express, like, this is what we are dealing with. You know, so I request the board that if, like, sometime 30 minutes will be more than sufficient to go over. And again, you know, we are here to help. If the age is the consumer, like the nicotine-free generation, I don't understand what is the point of it. Like, if I wanted to join a Marine Corps or Army or whatever, you're gonna give me a gun while I'm 18, right? Back in old days, you know, a lot of discussion happened that 18-year brain is not mature yet. Let's raise the age to 21. If we follow all that rules, you come to the stores, we don't have a lot of product. And this is our livelihood. You know, I got one son, I just put him through the college. He just graduated from Suffolk University. He doesn't have any vice. He don't use the nicotine product. He doesn't do marijuana. Sometime maybe have a nice cold beer here and there. And my younger one, he's in Sturgis High School, 11th grade, you know, and I would say, like, if anything, we should educate the parents as well as the student in the school, like create some kind of structure in the school so they keep saying that, you know, the nicotine is not good for you, smoking is not good for you, have some kind of system in place in the school system. So thank you.
Thank you for your comment.
Any question I can answer? I mean, I can go over the whole list Mr. Collette went over. You know, we have very similar views. You know, I mentioned, like, you know, we are not here to fight with the board. You know, I mean, you guys gonna do what you guys gonna do, but at least hear us out, you know, like where we are coming from and what we're trying to do. Smoke shop, it's not I'm not sure. A smoke shop is not an adult-only facility. I can take my kids to the smoke shop. Smoke shop is not a dispensary. So there is no difference between smoke shop selling tobacco or vape product and my convenience store selling tobacco or vape. Same exact rules, regulations, same exact license. Everything is pretty much the same, so thank you.
Thank you for your comment.
May I ask one question? You
Sure.
said your group is in opposition. Are you in opposition to everything on the list? All
No,
18 points?
absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Okay.
I mean, there is not much to it, but what I'm saying, where this gonna end, right? So before, it was no restriction on nicotine. Before the state and town, after vape, the flavor's gone, menthol cigarettes gone, all the flavors products gone from the store. So what's gonna be next? Like, what am I gonna be surviving on? The selling Reese's peanut butter and Coca-Cola? Like I mean, if I'm old enough and if I wanted to buy a legal product, I should have a right to buy a legal product. We are not against, the only things that putting a cap on the nicotine, because every person has a different tolerance, right? If I go to liquor store, somebody have a wine, 15% alcohol, and somebody buy 100 proof Smirnoff. So you cannot define that because everybody has a different tolerance on nicotine, tobacco, marijuana, whatever, all that stuff. So that's what we are here, just to not have a cap, have a choice, the consumer choice, if I wanted to go to AMPM, I can buy 6 milligram or 12 milligram, or you go to smoke shop and you have the same option available at the same, so.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you for your comments. I think next time when I'm trying to schedule the public hearing, we're trying to notify, your shops and all the business stuff. So
Right,
that
please,
they
we
can come back
request board
and
does,
have-
because we don't have, we have no communication with the Board of Health.
We have an email system, we can notify everyone.
Yeah.
But if they
Yeah.
have a permit, we can email them.
Yes,
tomorrow.
please, yeah. That's what we like to do, because then, we can come and, we wanted to work with you. We are not here to do anything wrong.
No, thank you.
Or
I mean,
go
this is-
against the
this is
board.
the communication that we need to
Exactly,
kind of
that's what
have
I
the
encourage,
dialogue.
that, we should do that with the board and the license holder.
Yep,
Thank you.
thank you.
Yep.
I can only go one more. I need to finish this meeting by 5:30.
My name is Nilesh Marpatia, and I own Route 28 Convenience in Centerville. I don't have much to say today, but I want to only bring 2-3 things. So Mr. Bob is, or state, I don't know who is trying to ban this nicotine pouch and everything, but we already banned so much product, like a flavor product, menthol cigarettes, and everything for like 5 years now. As a convenience store, we don't have much to sell at this time. But I see when I go to some trash cans, I still find the Newport menthol cigarette empty boxes in those trash cans. So that tells people in town want to smoke the menthol cigarettes, and they goes to the neighbor states and buy their product. So that way, we are as a retailer here in town losing that business. They go to the neighboring state like Rhode Island, New Hampshire. Those states have us cheaper prices, though they make the group, like 5, 6, 10 people in a group smoke cigarettes. If somebody smokes Marlboros is cheaper in Rhode Island and New Hampshire also. They so make the group and they buy the 10, 15 people in a group and they buy 10, 15, 20 cartons. One people go in the neighboring state and buy those cigarettes, and we lose all that business here. So I'm just saying that if taking all other products what we are selling at the store right now and it's taken away from us, so they're going to go put us out of business. Because we are already hurting. Like 5 years ago when they banned the menthol, we are selling 100, 150 cartons a week. Right now we are selling 40, 50 cartons a week. And still they are trying to take away all these other products. We're going to lose that business. So that basically going to put us out of business, all the small stores. So I want the Board of Health, before decide anything, just consider that. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you. One thing that you have to understand, the town has only a limited power in terms of what we can do.
No, but the board has to decide that.
You know, that's what I just want to mention. Thank you.
Just briefly before we move on, the stuff in yellow, that's highlighted in yellow that is bringing us up to state, I don't think we have a choice about. We need to be consistent with what the state law is. I don't think it'll surprise anybody here, at least, that my personal opinion is the state's bad enough. We don't need to go beyond what they have. Although some of the suggestions you made, I think I would entertain. In general, I already think I already think that we're too onerous to begin with, and to become even more onerous doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me.
Thank you. Let's move on. Thank you, Bob.
Thank you, Bob.
Thanks, everyone.
Appreciate you.
The next one is a failed septic system extension request. Douglas Bond, representing owner Cynthia and Robert Listus, 126 Don Eagle Circle, Centerville, map parcel 169-084, phase 1 sewer expansions, failed septic system, requesting temporary septic repair. Doug? Good. Make sure your mic is on.
There you go. We're proposing to do a temporary repair because the property's on phase 1 of sewer. We did do a perk test to do a regular repair, and the soils there were terrible, so it would be a fairly expensive one. So when we submitted the plans and stuff, one of the health staff suggested that we come in front of the board like we have before for a temporary repair. I did suggest 3 options. I think the best one would be, and we've done it before, would be to just excavate around the existing leach pit, take the bad soils and stones out and put new in, and usually that works fine.
Did you have a cost?
A what?
A cost estimate for each option?
No, because until we got into the job and know exactly what's there, there's really no way of telling, but it would be less than half of what the regular repair would be with the poor soils and stuff.
Doug, I checked with DPW, and sewer will be available in about 6 or 7 years. So do you think that would last that long? Option
Oh,
one?
yeah, no question.
7 year in terms of 2032, but right now it's year end, so I counted as 6.
Yeah, same here.
If you think it'll last, I have no objections.
Yeah. Any public comment on this one? Any question from the board members?
Motion to approve. Second?
All in favor? Aye.
Thank
You
you.
all set. Thank you.
Thank you.
We have 2 IA Technology for new constructions. Dan Ojala, Down Cape Engineering, representing owner Albert and Mayweather. Sorry, I pronounced the wrong names here. 41 Statue Hallway Road, Marston's Mill, map parcel 148-083, 21,780 square feet, proposed new constructions with the IA secondary treatment units for an addition to an existing 2-bedroom single-family dwelling. Dan?
Sure. Dan Ojala from Down Cape. It was at 21,780 square foot, just for the record on that. So I'll try and be quick. I know that we've got upcoming conservation meeting. This one is pretty straightforward. It's something where you would allow normally a 3-bedroom, but the state Title V does have their ordinance, which is more restrictive than their 330 ordinance for these small lots. So the way we do these is put in a general D-night system. These are systems that knock the nitrogen down so that you're allowed the 660 per 40,000. So it's at 359 gallons per day allowed, and proposed is 330. On this one, we chose a Biomicrobics Microfast 0.5. They're kind of a tried and true technology. If you look at the online reporting, they do just about as well as the BARNTs. And the newish general permit very carefully lays out the testing, O&M requirements. They're under contract, deed notification, On page 6, I believe it is, of the regulation, you do total nitrogen, which is TKN, nitrate, and nitrite nitrogen, quarterly for 2 years, and then twice per year after that. So it'll be well tested and monitored, and pretty straightforward. Other than that, no variances. So this is just a local approval that you guys like to do of these systems, just to review, to buttress the Health Division's review.
Staff
I'll be
has
glad to
no
answer any
objections.
questions. Yep.
Staff has no objections.
Thank you.
I know you don't have much time.
Any public comment on this one? Any question from the board member?
I have a question. The original house has 2 bedrooms. This one has got 3. But isn't that office, Tom, 8 by 12, it's 96? Doesn't that be ruled as another bedroom?
The one thing I saw on that is it had a doorway on it, and I didn't know if a bedroom had to have a window. And so I thought maybe that got us out of it. One of my other engineers did the filing, but if we need be, we can put a 5-foot opening with no door on it.
What's your opinion, Tom?
Yeah, I would have thought this was already discussed with the inspector, no?
I would have
Wasn't
thought
this
so
issue-
too. Again, it's,
This should have been discussed with the inspector before the meeting.
By who?
The health inspector that reviewed this. Let me check.
And
Well, the
often an
inspector probably
office,
should have picked it up.
Let me just see here.
and often an office needs an exterior door, for various reasons.
yeah,
I mean,
It's
there's a
desirable for
solution.
different tax purposes or whatever. And often, if it doesn't have I think if it doesn't have a closet, it's
Yeah,
not
that-
considered,
The
right?
closet doesn't matter that's assessing.
Oh, okay.
there is language in there that's intended for sleeping, but that's hard to enforce, so.
There's
we
a
generally-
solution there. You could
And it's,
widen the doorway.
Or file a deed restriction. Aren't you filing a deed restriction?
We are
anyhow?
doing a deed restriction as well, yeah.
So a 3-bedroom deed restriction would take care of that.
Doesn't that solve it?
yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
All set.
Yeah.
Motion to
Good
approve.
call.
Second.
With the deed restrictions.
It's a deed restriction, but it's already included, Tom?
Yes.
We'll make sure, yeah, that's,
Second?
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
I'm not sure I will understand that. But I'm not going to vote yes.
The deed restriction?
On the deed restriction?
Yeah, that's, the state allows that as an acceptable option if you file a
Deed restriction for 3-bedroom?
3-bedroom,
Yeah,
yeah.
Yes.
I have it on my house.
Yeah.
But you already have 3. This is a 4th.
yeah, you're covenanting with the state that you'll never use that as a bedroom, and it's on record with the registry, so you can't ever sell it as a 4-bedroom.
The second one is Dan Nojola, again, Down Cape Engineering, representing owner, Greystone Constructions and Developing Corp., 65 Orlando Drive, INS, map parcel 270-240, 15,246 square feet, proposed constructions of an IA secondary treatment unit for a new 2-bedroom, single-family dwellings. Dan?
Yeah, almost identical set of circumstances, only this is the new construction. We did do a door down a few months back. Time flies, but same thing. We're using the best available nitrogen-reducing technology, the STAR system on this one. And again, their O&M has, when you use the 660 rule, you have to meet 19 milligrams per liter total nitrogen, and it's a year-round installation, so it'll be quarterly for the first year, and then twice per year after that, 5 months apart, So again, just like the next door, and not too dissimilar from the one you just heard, no variances, everything meets Title V. It's simply that you were doing a review for the innovative alternative septic and monitoring.
Staff?
Staff has no objections.
Any public comment on this one? Any question from the board member? No?
Motion to
You know,
approve.
I have a question, just for information. This one has one of those Zabel filters in it. right?
Yes, that's accurate.
But the last one didn't have. Is it that the last one was a fast system?
Yeah, the microfast,
They don't
basically.
require it?
Yeah, no, they like the food to get through to the operating part of it, so just a little bit different mechanism. So, yeah.
So anybody with a fast system, they don't have the filter?
No, they don't suggest you put one on with the microfast.
All right, thank you.
Now, but to be clear, if then there's a pump chamber, I think you do need one, but this wasn't the case.
Right. Could I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Is that with a condition of a deed restriction, correct? Two-bedroom?
No.
Yes,
Yes,
that
we
was
should have.
on the plan, two-bedroom.
Should we amend the motion?
Yeah, with the deep restrictions.
Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you. We have 3 sewer connections extension requests. The first one is Shasha O'Neill, representing owner Maria Higgins, 130 Seabrook Road, Hyannis, map parcel 307-029, Stewart's Creek, SEWH 24-248, requesting extension of an additional 12 months to connect building to the public sewer. Shasha,
Yes, hi.
is your mic on? Make sure your mic is on.
The green light's on.
We can't hear you. No, is
Might
the
wanna
green
move
light?
it
Might want to
closer
get
to you.
closer.
It's on.
Huh?
Okay, it's on.
Why don't you get closer to the mic?
Move the mic close to you.
Okay.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, now we can hear you. You can move the mic closer.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I am asking for an extension to the 6-month sewer request. I had only 10 days to ask for additional time, which even the 10 days wasn't really substantial in trying to figure out what the whole entire process was going to be like. The 1 year that I asked for, there was no specific reason that I asked for a year, other than I just picked a number because 6 months sounded incredibly short. I have since then gotten 1 estimate. I have another appointment tomorrow to get a second estimate, but you need 3 to apply for the Aqua Fund, which I'm going to attempt to do, although the property is not mine. It is my deceased mother's, and it's still going through probate. I'm hoping that I'll even be able to get the loan from the Aqua Fund, and certainly I hope to get this project done by April, which is my deadline. I feel like this is kind of jumping the gun, honestly, to give 10 days to apply for an extension, because the 10 days I didn't even get an estimate in 10 days, so I don't know.
Where's the 10-day comes from?
The letter that you sent me that said I had 10 days to ask for a hearing.
Oh, that's standard letter.
But in
request.
10 days, I wasn't able to get any numbers. I can't even see if I can get the loan. So I basically just asked for more
Time.
because I only had 10 days to ask for time, and I don't.
Do you live in the house?
Yes, I do.
Do you own the house?
Everything is still going through probate. It's in my mother's name.
So we need
The
to get a
Stewart's
time
Creek
for everything to get.
project was about 10 years ago now.
Yeah,
I'm very concerned about where it says that it's $200 and then a fee
This-
every day if I don't make it by April. It
Dr.
feels like
Kenneth,
someone's breathing down
this
my.
property wasn't due until last
September.
because it's on that timeline. It's the Board of Health policy that you voted for that takes the age of the septic
Septic,
system, subtracts it out. So it's not due 10 years ago. It was only due recently.
Well, it
I
doesn't
didn't
say
even
that in
know
the
about it at
paper.
all.
Why wasn't that in the paperwork?
Stewart's Creek has a different timeline than all the other projects.
Well, that's fine, but
And she needs more time because of the,
Yeah.
Yeah, so no
Yeah.
problem.
That's what I'm trying to
I think you should give her the time.
yeah.
The only thing I'm wondering, though, you say you need it done by April.
Well, the six months from the date of the letter.
she's saying
Then
we're telling her it
6
needs to be
months
done
of
by
the
April,
receipt.
not that she needs it done by April.
But yeah, I don't need it.
You've got a functioning septic system in the house.
Yes.
Okay.
Move to give her a year extension.
Yep. Anyone second?
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
We'll give you 12 months.
And if there are problems with probate or whatever, you just need to let us know. I mean, the goal of this is not to try and force you into something that you can't possibly do.
Companies are telling me, can I call after the holiday? I had one
Right.
company tell me they're not taking new projects right now. I'm
Right.
Yeah.
starting to get nervous.
Well, get your
No,
quote
it's good you're
get
on
your
top
quote
of it.
first, and then you'll know what kind of time they can commit to your projects
Okay, thank you.
and get your loan set up.
Sorry for your loss, by the way.
Thank you.
You know, if you need help too, you can call the health department.
Yeah.
That gentleman who was just in here, but I looked at his company shirt, but I already emailed them and they haven't emailed me back, so I guess he's got other things going on.
The next one is Day Laura, representing owner Matthew Lambert, trustee 980 West Main Street, Realty Trust 990 West Main Street, West Main Street, Centerville, map parcel 229-101, phase 1 of the Strawberry Hill Road Sewer Extensions, SEWH 24-288, and extensions 25-30, requesting extensions of an additional 12 months to connect building sewer to public sewer. Dave.
Good evening, how are you? Hey, Tom. Thank you,
Good.
Doctor, how are you? Good. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. And this is I have two on, and they're basically the same property. I don't know if you want to combine the hearings. Can you do that, or?
Does anybody live in either house?
And, you know what? One of them I'm pretty sure no, and then one sometimes. So, but virtually, I'm not even sure if anybody's there right now. But
You can go over the, you can.
I'll just do the whole thing. It's Lambert. This is
because I need a separate vote.
okay.
Right.
Okay. So this is Lambert's, and right now, Matt owns obviously the store, and then he has the property on the side, and we're looking at doing potential redevelopment of the extra land there. I don't want to get into it in great detail, but we're meeting with architects. I think there was one that was scheduled, I know there was one scheduled a few weeks ago that got postponed. I think it's rescheduled in December. And then there's going to be some relief that's going to be needed through the ZBA or planning board. But we're planning on trying to do a comprehensive project there. And it's going to take at least 9 months or a year to get it permitted and ready to go. But there's a chance that one or both of these structures may be gone if we get approved. And we're just looking to get a continuance, because obviously that would be a complete and utter waste of money to connect and then have to rip up the sewer lines and redo it. And with respect to both of them, I'm just going to stop because it's late and you're going to be done by 5:30. So if you have any questions, I'm more than happy to answer them.
Thank you.
I suggest that the house that's vacant, that it's definitely vacant, shut off the water and grant the extension. That, if you're saying one house is
I
not
said,
even used.
I think, I don't know if a lot of this is used as employee housing. People go in and, I mean, Tom, it doesn't, it's an existing, there's no issues of any issues with the septic system. The SORA just went in, I think in July or August, this connection, the letter went out. I mean, this is a brand-new sewer pipe that went right up West Main Street. It gets very minimal use. They've been there for a while. We're just trying to develop the property. And I think we would like to have the flexibility of not having to turn the water off. I mean, as far as I know, it might even be off. I don't even know. But I would like to leave my client the flexibility to be able to use that property because it's used for workforce housing.
May I say, one of those two houses, you can't even get access to it. You can't drive to it. It's overgrown. It's not, I don't think it's being used, as you said.
Well, then my guess is the water's probably already off. I just don't want to give them a restriction to have to come back if they want to do something. That's
Okay.
That's fine.
Any public comment on this one? None? Any question from the board member? Could I have a motion to grant the extension for 12 months?
So moved.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
The second one is 980 West Main Street, Centerville, map parcel 250-049, phase 1 of Strawberry Hill Road Sewer Expansions, SEWH 24-352, and extension 25-29, requesting extensions of an additional 12 months to connect building to public sewer. I think it's the same reasoning.
Ditto.
So moved.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a great Thanksgiving.
Thank
See
you.
Thank you.
You too. Bye-bye.
The next one is a septic system variance. Ryan Pinner, Outback Engineering, Inc., representing owner Ronald Olivia, 28282 Parker Road, West Barnstable, map parcel 176-013, 19,602 square feet, requesting variance under 310 CMR 15.4051G, State Environmental Code, a reductions of the required setback between the proposed leaching field and the existing private water supply well from 100 feet to 51 feet. Ryan?
Good evening, Board. Ryan Pina from Outback Engineering, here on behalf of our client, Ronald Oliveira. This is a septic system upgrade. We are replacing the existing cesspool with a pipe and stone field. This lot had pretty poor soil, so it is a fairly large system despite only being a 2-bedroom house. There's no increase in flow. We have requested one variance for the separation between the existing well on our property and the proposed leaching field to be reduced from 100 feet to 51 feet. If you take a look at just the location of the existing well, there's no way to provide the required 100-foot setback on our lot, so that was why we requested that.
Any public comment on this one? Staff? Oh.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
My name is David Cameron. I live at 264 Parker Road in West Barnstable. I am the abutter of the applicant's property. I abut the property just to the east. When I first received this letter for the abutter's notice for a hearing, I was somewhat disturbed by the fact that they're asking for a variance from 100 feet down to 51 feet. To me, that is somewhat, to cut it in half, to cut the standard in half, is somewhat alarming. But now I've learned that the setback for the leaching field is not 100 feet, it's 150 feet, which is more bothersome for me. I've been living at my residence for 46 years. I've met the owner of record back in January, and he explained to me that he was just interested in purchasing the property and so-called flipping it, and not going to occupy the property himself. And we talked a little bit about the wells, and most of the wells, if not all of the wells in that area, are what's known as shallow wells. They don't go down too deep because that area predominantly has many layers of dense clay. So the wells are sourced by water from rain and a high water table. And if that well was to become contaminated for any reason, I'm worrying about my own well being subject to contamination at some point. So I object to the, we're not talking about just a few feet here to make the project work. We're talking about a substantial variance. The other comment I want to bring up is that the engineering firm did go out and lay out the boundaries along Parker Road. but they neglected to lay out the boundaries for the sidelines. So what I would suggest is them to have a licensed surveyor survey that property so that everyone understands where the boundaries are of the playing field. And I read the deeds over and over and over again. Our deeds are very similar. Our properties are delineated very specifically as what I would describe as perfect rectangles, whether it's plane geometry or Euclidean geometry. My property is 180 feet by 130 feet with right angles, and the applicant's property is 160 feet along Parker Road by 130 feet with specific right angles. So I just think that the property in the back and the rear of the property should be clearly delineated where a potential system could go.
Thank you for your comment.
That's all I have.
Staff?
The engineer needs to go back to drawing board and start over again. He needs to apply for the proper variances, for one thing. He didn't apply for the 150-foot setback from the leaching field required by your town of Board of Health regulation. He didn't apply for the septic tank setback to the well, which is in the town regulation. He did not locate neighbors' wells and neighbors' septic systems that may be affected within 150 feet. And I suggest a land surveyor to properly show where the property line is between the neighbors. So I suggest you postpone or continue this hearing till next month until the plans can be revised. Thank you.
Thank you. Ryan, do you agree with the assessment? Because I'm looking at this plan, I'm looking for a survey stamp. I did not see one. So if the property line is in questions, I'm looking for the survey stamp, which means that, just like Tom said, you have to go back to your drawing board and survey that property line and put it on here for your design. Otherwise, I don't know whether this design is proper or not, right? And the other thing that I need to know is the groundwater flow. Which direction are we doing? So,
What's that last one, Tom?
Groundwater flow.
groundwater flow. Whether it's got down gradient of the leaching field or flowing the other directions towards your drinking well. I need to know, right?
Yep. As far as the PLS stamp, this plan wasn't stamped by the PLS, but this lot was surveyed by our company, by licensed surveyors. And it was made, I spoke with the gentleman, the abutter next door, when we did the perk test, actually. And I made it known to our PLS that there was some controversy over the lot line, and he looked very carefully at the deeds. So I 100% agree we need his stamp on the revised plans, but just wanted to make that known.
I need him to look at it and then make sure it is correct and then stamp it. Otherwise, I would not accept the plan. So,
Absolutely.
It's wonderful to have an engineer on it. So the cesspool is within, looks like 50 or 60 feet of the well, too.
leaching field,
That-
yes.
Leaching field.
The existing
So-
cesspool that they're replacing it's located, looks like it's located right about there.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's very close to the well, too. So how close can you have a non-closed system to a well and not be risking contamination of the well?
It's already at risk, yeah.
Depends on the water flow.
Well,
Ground flow.
depending on the groundwater flow, and then the second one, you can also drill a new well to make a greater separations
Oh, so you move the well
further out.
further
yeah.
out? Oh, okay, all right.
Because this is not a deep well. If I listen correctly, this is a shallow well. So your cost of putting a new well, drilling a new well, is not that expensive.
The groundwater here, groundwater is fairly deep from what we found in this area. There is a layer of silt loam that we found. We got through that layer, as you can see in the test pit logs, at about a depth of 7 feet. And below that, we found sandy loam. There were no signs of redox features. So I think that should just be considered as well.
The question is the direction of the flow of the groundwater, though, right?
Yeah, that too.
Not necessarily, I mean,
I was just referring to the depth of the well. I agree with that statement.
and I don't understand.
So on the soil log, down to 120 feet, you don't see any water,
Correct.
which is, 10 feet.
Correct.
Okay. So can we table this to December and get all your information back to us?
Does the board recommend relocating the well when it comes back, or leave the well where it is?
Well, you can leave the well in there, but the groundwater flow would be more critical. If that becomes changing and then your leaching, your property line is changing, your leaching field design is going to be changed.
Okay.
So everything is variable right now. Okay.
Understood.
Could I have a motion to table this to next
So moved.
month, December the 15th or 16th?
So moved.
All in favor? Aye. December 16th.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The next one is David Cohenshaw, representing owner Gabriel Press, 38 Bristol Avenue, Hyannis map parcel 3089-017, 9,148 square feet variance request under 310 CMR 15.2111. State environmental code of 10 feet separation between reserve area and the cellar wall. Hi, Dave.
How are you? When I first took this job on, I was asked to design a system for 4 bedrooms. And this is a rather tight lot, so I had to specifically design this proposed leaching gallery here for this lot. But then it went up for a permit, and Dave Stanton reviewed it, and he told me that it was 3 bedrooms, and that if we were to go to 4, then we would need to show a leaching area, a reserve area. I was able to find one spot in the front yard where it would fit, but it doesn't make the setback to the foundation. It should be 10 feet. It should be 20 feet, sorry, but instead we've got 10. Now, the owner decided that someone told him that if we bring this up at a hearing, that there is a possibility that the 4-bedroom with the variance would be granted, and he enjoined me to come here in front of you tonight to ask for this. In the past, we would use a remove and replace.
Just for clarification, can you explain, are they proposing an addition to the house too?
No, there's no more room for additions here. I was able to barely shoehorn this system in here.
Well, the reason I ask, the staff recommends disapproval because there is not a hardship for this request, and if you look at the floor plan, for this 9,148 square feet, you can't fit a septic system or reserve area because there's too many bedrooms.
Mm-hmm.
Too much pavement, too much building, too many bedrooms.
Mm-hmm.
What is the hardship, please?
Mm-hmm. For 9,000 square feet, yeah.
Any public comment on this one?
Say again?
Public comment, we're asking.
Hi, my name's Lori. I'm actually just trying to figure out why I'm here. So I got the letter to come as an abutter, so I'm not sure, like, am I here because that's a customary thing to do, to send it to abutters?
Yes.
Or is it something that could go wrong and I would need to know? Or is it because they're going from single-family, three-bedroom to four multi-family? So I kind of was like trying to figure out why I'm here.
Well, I think this is a normal process for the abutter notifications when your neighbor is building something that they need to notify you as an abutter saying that may impact your house, just to let you know something is going on this parcel. That's all.
So their septic system expansion could affect me as an abutter? Or just the building of it?
Just the
noise,
building and the septic,
whatever.
but it may not affect you.
Right.
But because they're doing construction work on his
okay.
property, he
Yeah.
would have to let you know.
Okay. I was just trying to figure this out.
Yeah.
But I must say, it has been an enlightening hour and a half to learn some of the Barnstable process that happens. So thank you.
Thank you.
I learned stuff too these days.
Well, your lot is very small. If you think about it, look at the agenda that all the applications, it mentioned about the square footage from more than 20,000 to, to 1,500, 15,000. Now you're down to like 9,000 and you're asking for 4 bedrooms. That's a lot of bedrooms in a so tiny slot.
Right, but this isn't in a restrictive zone.
But if you go back and look at, let's say Barnstable has that 330 rule, so you cannot meet that 330 rule.
Well,
Am I right?
Right, but I kind of did get here by mission creep.
Are none of those areas of Hyannis going on sewer?
I would think they would be.
It's so densely populated.
It's right off Pierce's, isn't that going to be sewer?
Sewer's not planned, correct, for this street?
It's not in the near term.
No.
More
So
like
there's
10
no
years,
sewer
I think.
available.
That's all.
If there's a sewer available, yes, there's an option there. But now there's no sewer, there's no options.
Right, I
Okay?
understand that.
So it's kind of, you put us on the tough position trying to, the problem is, if we give you the approval on this, every 7,000 square feet lot would come in asking for 4 bedrooms.
Right.
What happened then? I would have a tough time to say yes.
No, I understand.
Okay?
So,
Tom, what's the smallest size a bedroom can be?
The smallest bedroom could be 7 by 10, 70 square feet. 70 square feet for one person, 100 square feet for 2 people. So the smallest would be 70 square feet.
Right, right.
You got one bedroom, 2, 72, and a couple of feet, 74. The office is, would be considered a bedroom.
Yeah, that's over,
Closet
that,
would be considered a bedroom.
yeah, does the office have no, it has a door, it doesn't have an opening, you're correct. That counts as a bedroom, unless he files a deed restriction.
Do you want time to go and think about it and come back next month, or do you want to take a vote?
I don't know what there is to think about.
Is the basement bedroom legal? In other- Does it have secondary egress for emergency?
I haven't been in there. I just went in to look at the pipes going out.
I think based on this information,
More
I
planning.
would have to turn this down.
So
What
we
I
can
have right
table it
now.
or turn it down.
Just approve it, and then,
I mean, we can disapprove it and then not
Back with the
approving it,
plan.
and then you can go back and reconfigure it and come back if you wanted to.
Well, I don't think there's any way to get a reserve area in here that's going to make the setbacks. So, but the client was under the impression that if we came here, that there would be a possibility. So
Yeah, there's a
that's why I'm
possibility,
here.
but it's very low possibility. So, you want us to vote?
I think so, yes.
Could I have a motion to deny this project?
So moved.
I think you have, I'm sorry, I think you have to make a motion to approve, and then it gets the proper
Disapprove?
legal way, then it gets voted.
Okay.
All right.
Could I have a motion to approve this project?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor? Opposed? Opposed.
Okay, well, probably what I'll do with this is I'll recommend that they put in a 2-compartment tank to replace there's a plastic tank in there that's in rather questionable condition, in my opinion. And then I'll say proposed 3-bedroom, use this same proposed leaching area, and then that will have them put in a system that meets Title V and will take care of the problem of a failing system.
Well, I think you should discuss that with the staff and see whether that is approvable or not.
Okay, well,
I'm not
that's
going to
kinda
try
what I
to
proposed.
sit here and try to design the system for you.
You can give me a call tomorrow or
Okay.
next, yeah, okay.
Okay.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Thank you. Take care.
The next one is continuing from September the 30th. Lee Barber, owner, 5 Deerfield Road, Austerville, map parcel 166-021, 16,117 square feet. Variance requested from Section 360-45B1B of the Town of Barnstable Code to exceed 330 gallons per acres per day in the Salt Estuary Protection Districts. Constructions of an ADU proposed. Hi.
Hi.
Good.
I brought my engineer with me, the guy that I couldn't find last time. We struggled trying to find
Can
an
you
engineer.
speak to the mic?
Sure.
Make sure your light is green.
Hello. Hello.
Yep.
Is it on? Okay, we're on.
Now.
Check, yep, that's on. Okay, so my name is Frank Gallagher, Gallagher Engineering in Foxborough. And Lee and I have spoken. So what Lee wants to do, I guess just to kind of recap, is he wants to build an ADU on his property. His mother's elderly, she needs care, and he wants to try to build this ADU so that he can have a place for his mother right there so that they can care for her. So there's an existing 3-bedroom house at this location. The addition of an ADU would make it a 4-bedroom house, which is, triggers the regulation and the need for a variance from the section that was quoted. The way around that, or I guess not really the way around that, but to be able to grant that variance requires that we do a nitrogen loading calculation, and we show that we can meet the 5 parts per million nitrates for the property. The calculations I submitted show that with the addition of an ADU, a 4-bedroom house, using Title V flows for a 4-bedroom house, and using a nitrogen removal type of septic system, we can get down to 9.3 parts per million. And we can actually get down from, and under an existing condition, 3-bedroom house, standard septic system without any nitrogen removal. So basically, the existing condition that we're working with on this site yields 30.5 parts per million. So what we're presenting to the board is, yes, an additional bedroom, but at the same time, a nitrogen removal system that would pull 90% of the nitrates out of the septic system. And in doing that, we get ourselves down to the 9.3. So I guess what we're saying is we can leave it alone and live with 30.5 parts per million, or we can make the changes that Mr. Barber would like to make and reduce it down to 9.3. And I guess we're asking the board if there is the wiggle room within this regulation that would allow us to do that.
Thank you. Any public comment on this one? Staff?
Thank you, Mr. Geller. That was well explained, and what he says is true. It makes sense, but your regulation, there's two issues. It doesn't meet the saltwater estuary protection regulation because there's too many bedrooms on this small lot that's proposed. But secondly, to obtain a variance, you have to achieve 5 parts per million. That's written in your variance provision that was adopted by this board, not this particular board, but the Board of Health members before you. And if you want to change that standard, you would need to, my suggestion is to change the regulation if you're going to change it to 9 or 10 parts per million. But right now, it's 5 parts per million is your standard.
That kind of the dilemma that we have to live with at this point, because let me explain some things to you. Earlier, you hear Dan Ojala come in and install that IA systems, right? That IA system, Microfast, is an approved with the 660 gallons per day per acres rating. And that's why on that applications, he can afford to get 3 bedrooms based on that rating. In nitro system, because, that one is a general permit. This nitro system is a provisional use permit. It does not specify the gallons per day per acres. So we cannot apply, let's say, 660 rule or more, depending what that approval rating is, because provisional use is waiting for the general permit. That's why we don't have any guideline per se of how much leeway that we can give it to the nitro systems. Yes, grant you that nitro system can treat it below 8. That's why you did that calculations to get down to, like, say, 7 or 8 milligrams per liter compared to a standard septic system, which is like 35, which is environmentally is a lot better. But under our current regulations, we don't have that ability to approve it as a variance to that of the salt estuary, because the salt estuary calculations, according to the Cape Cod Commission, calculation is supposed to be 5 milligrams per liter. Okay, Grant, I understand environmentally, yes, your system is perfect. So the questions, 2 questions that come to my mind. One question, whether you can buy additional 4,000 square feet of land as a credit land to offset that nitrogen, and then you are set. That's one option of doing that. The second option is by regulation, by the interpretations, if you can take off 1 bedroom and put the ADU as a 3rd bedroom, that we can live with. That's how we're doing it right now. Those are the 2 options that I can see in right now.
And if we were to do that, there would be a deed restriction involved, or no? No. Just make those changes within the house?
Yeah.
And
or you could do a deed restriction.
Yeah, it may or may not be involved. It depends how you do it.
We wouldn't want a deed restriction.
Yeah.
That hurts the sale of the property. Right.
Well, not if you have the ADU added on.
Well, it's only 3 bedrooms.
I understand, so you're staying 3 bedrooms, but you're getting the additional square footage of putting on the ADU. But you're just saying you're not going to use any of the existing space in the existing home as a bedroom, as another bedroom. So you would turn one of the bedrooms in the existing home into not a bedroom. Right? Add on your square footage for the ADU, maybe accomplish what you want, still maintain the value of the property, and not have to deal with all of this. So it's just an option.
Yeah, we just would, if he doesn't want to do a deed restriction, we'd need to have that non-privacy. In other words, a no door with a wide opening, so it's not can't be used as a bedroom.
Right.
So that's an option I think Mr. Barber would be willing to take a look at. And then, just as a matter of information, so with nitrates, we've, in a lot like this, typically, they come from three sources, right? The septic system, the impervious surfaces that you have associated with the property, and the lawn treatment that you have.
Right.
And in fact, the lawn treatment is a pretty big component of it. If you look, they say 3 pounds per 1,000 square feet. If we were willing to accept a condition, if I pull that out of the equation, I think I can get to 5 parts per million.
No, what I'm saying though, if you're replacing the existing bedroom in your house with the
Right.
ADU, you
Right.
don't need to go through that
And I
calculation.
understand. I'm talking about a
You're
possible
you're looking for
additional
other
option.
options.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if we were to accept an approval with a condition that says no lawn treatment, is that an option for us? Because I think if we pull that out of the nitrogen loading calculation, I think we get to 5 parts per million.
It appears that we're below 5.5 parts per million with the lawn treatment, which is fertilizer. Basically, it's fertilizer. If we eliminate the fertilizer, then we're below 5. So we're saying that if you grant it, which we discussed in September, and we're below 5, that you would grant the variance. So we have a way to get below 5, and that's with the lawn treatment being removed. And we're ready to sign off on that as my engineer, so it's legal.
Or I think, it would be a condition that would be attached
So
to the
what are
board's.
you doing with the existing lawn area?
Yeah, you'd just have to, let it grow naturally, and
I mean, we're going to mow it. We're not just going to let the thing grow.
Right.
I mean, we're going to
Right.
care for the lawn.
Right.
It's just that we're not going to
You'd
use the
maintain it, but you wouldn't.
Use the
You wouldn't
fertilizer.
treat it.
Right.
Well, I have a lot, my house is 70,000 square feet. I haven't put any nitrogen fertilizer on it in 25 or 30 years.
So it's a reasonable option.
Can't build.
You grind up the leaves.
It is, it's prohibited within 100 feet of a water body to put fertilizer down. I don't know how close this property is. It's already prohibited in this town.
No, this is not near any water body, if I remember right.
It's not anywhere near. We're a mile and a half from Dowsers Beach.
Right, right.
So basically, for all intent and purposes, we're saying that we're willing to do what needs to be done to get below the 5, have the letter written, signed off by my engineer, my licensed engineer, that we are below 5 based upon the fertilizer stopping.
Is this a precedent that we want to set?
I think that would be fine if you can revise that calculation to show that. We need that to be in the record, and then to show that, then we can approve it.
Yeah,
Well, can we, somebody who's needing to go into a nursing home is somebody who's deteriorating.
Yes.
So what can we approve today with the caveats that something's done?
Well, you can't approve it anyway, Storm, because they don't have a plan for the ADU.
They have to provide a plan to do that stuff, because right now the approval is, yes, you can go ahead and do that, but they still have to provide a plan.
We do.
for
So
the
we
house
still
and all that
have,
stuff.
we still have some work to do. So I would be happy to continue this one more time and submit a revised calculation and come back at your next hearing. We can still work in that time frame.
Another thing is maybe we should run this by the town legal people, because we've never done this before.
I can run by them, but also I can also read the maps too.
Right. So,
In
Yeah, no.
27 years, it's never been done.
No, in some of the area, we only allows, under the conservation, we only allow, if you're within the buffer, we don't allow you to have the fertilizer, we can only allow you to mold it maybe once or twice a year to, to keep that in the buffer, to maintain it, but not fertilize it. So
But
I
they're
mean,
not in that area, right?
No.
Okay.
But, I mean, we have done certain things like that, but.
The 5 parts per million, if the nitro system can't get a 3-bedroom house down to that, who's getting under?
4-bedroom.
A 4-bedroom, fine. Who's getting under 5 parts per million?
Isn't it understood that,
Because depending on your lot size, because if you go through the
Right.
calculations.
We got
the lot
50,000
size, your
square feet
driveway
and
all
all
that
set.
stuff. So it's the
So
math.
basically, we've said that anybody with a smaller property can't do it.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Same thing, I did the math for Dan Ojola's projects.
Yeah.
They cannot meet 5.
5's not achievable
No.
I
by
mean,
any
you-
system that exists on the market today.
the EPA has 10?
Yeah.
So why are
Maybe
we
we should
making
look at
5?
changing that regulation to
Yeah.
10. 5 seems,
I agree.
I'm looking at that.
yeah, let's
I
take a
mean,
look at that. That
yeah,
seems,
you know.
that seems,
You want to,
Harsh.
I mean, if we go strictly by your regulation,
Yeah.
you've got a house here that's giving out 30 parts per million, and you're
Right.
essentially hamstrung by your own regulation.
we're losing a chance to decrease the nitrogen put into the
Yeah.
environment
Right.
because of
Yeah.
our own regulations.
Is
Yeah, I
that a
agree with that.
local regulation
Yeah.
or a state regulation?
That's a really good point.
That's a
It's a
local
local.
regulation.
5 is
It's
local.
what?
Yeah.
It's a local.
It's local?
Established
So-
by who?
Salt
What is that? Cut off your nose
By
to
us?
spite your face?
So
Yeah,
we
exactly.
can change it.
You know?
Okay.
Which is why we need to
Can we change it
review.
quickly enough so that, like, the whole issue of the nursing home doesn't go away? I mean,
All right,
As I
so
said,
why don't we,
But right now, we have to deal with the existing, what we have right now. That's the problem. We cannot deal with the.
why don't we
new
set them up
regulation.
to come
So,
back?
do you want to come back in December?
Yes,
Well,
yes, please.
let me ask a couple of questions here, since we're at this point. If we have, from the September meeting, the variance, we all agreed that if we could meet the number, and my engineer, which I didn't have an engineer at the time, so I didn't understand the whole process, but now I do, that if we could meet the regulation, which is the 5 parts, and my licensed engineer will sign off that we're going to be below the 5 with the fertilizer disappearing, then why can't we grant the variance tonight based upon his legal letter with his license and the chairman understanding the whole deal here, and the board understanding the whole deal? Why can't we get approved tonight as we discussed in September? Because no one's going to put their license at jeopardy at this point, not for this. But my point is we're going to be below 5, according to the calculations. He's ready to write the letter that we are below 5. So why can't we get the variance approved this evening? I've already been, this is my second meeting, and the agreement was that I understood, and correct me if I'm wrong, but my understanding was if I could meet the number or get below the number, I would be approved.
I don't think there was ever an agreement because we never saw a plan for the ADU.
The ADU structure was never discussed in the last meeting.
Sure it was.
No, it was not.
It was why you were here.
It was the discussion about
You were
building
here-
an ADU.
You were here first you came in with a plan that had 2 lots that weren't 2, it was only 1 lot. And then you said you were going to have an ADU. So, we're working, we're going overboard for you. So I think you should let it ride.
Yeah, the goal is to get you where you want to be and where we want to be. And there is a process to it. And it's hard to ask the board to just skip the process that they use for everybody who comes here.
Okay, so can you summarize where we are so that we know what we're doing for the next meeting?
Next meeting, I need the nitrogen calculations updated to whatever, less than 5, because it has to be less than 5.
Yes.
And then with your ADU on the site plan stuff.
And the floor plans for
And the floor
both
plans.
buildings.
Right.
Both buildings.
And you're going to run it by the town lawyer.
It can be a neat sketch, doesn't have to be architect, just a sketch of where the bedroom
Okay.
count, okay?
Okay.
Yeah.
So Tom, we're talking about a sketch of the existing property and a sketch of the ADU.
Yeah, just to show the total bedrooms, yes.
Okay.
Okay.
It's fine with us.
Okay,
Could I table this to,
Next time will be brief.
okay.
could I table this to December the 16th?
So moved.
Second?
All in favor?
All right, thank you all very much.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate your time.
The next one is grease trap request. John Kenny, representing 412 Main Street Hyannis LLC, Desmond Cove, manager of the business, Dublin LLC, DBA, the Old Triangle, 412 Main Street Hyannis, map parcel 309-221, 6,098 square feet, grease trap extension previously granted for 2 years ago, expiring November 30th, 2025. Variance requested due to financial hardship according to applications. Hi, John.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the Board of Health. For the record, my name is John Kenny, an attorney with the law office in Centerville. I come before you tonight representing 412 Main Street LLC and Dublin LLC, DBA the Old Triangle. I know you're on a tight schedule. I see you were past your 5:30 deadline. My friend, Mr. Eddy, has the next meeting. I had about a 10-minute presentation. I can stretch it to probably 20 or 30 minutes to make Mr. Eddy squirm. Actually, he's used to me giving him a hard time. We work together in a lot of projects. My client purchased the old BBC back in 2023. It had 197 seats and inside and 20 seats outside for a total of 217. Shortly after purchasing, he received a notice from the DPW and this board that he had to reduce his seats down to 133. It's a 40% decrease because of the size of the grease trap. It was then discovered that there had been, in effect, a variance on the size of the grease trap since 2009. My client had no idea when he purchased the business it would have changed the whole dynamics of the purchase or killed it had he known. And some of you were on the board back in 2023 when I came in here and was ranting and raving about the fact that Board of Health variances aren't recorded anywhere. My client had no knowledge of that. On July 25th of 2023, after my ranting and raving, you very graciously agreed to give us a 27-month extension on the variance for the grease trap. And that expires on November 30th of this year. Since the granting of that extension, on August 2nd of 2023, the DPW did an inspection of the grease trap, and they reported back that it was in very rough shape. And in fact, they suggested that perhaps the owner was not getting the services, full services that he was paying for, and they recommended a change in the company servicing the grease trap. My client immediately complied. Brought somebody in, they inspected it. I think the T's were all greased up. I don't understand grease traps or septic systems. It was confirmed to be in very rough shape. He paid to have it all cleaned up, and he has been religious about pumping it quarterly ever since. In addition to the problems with the grease trap, he then discovered, after taking ownership of the property, that pipes leading to the grease trap were leaking into the basement. That cost him about $22,000 over and above what it would cost to put in a brand-new grease trap. In addition, he spent approximately $100,000 in bringing refrigeration equipment and various equipment up to Board of Health standards. There was a lot of deferred maintenance in the business. So he spent a ton of money getting everything up to date. And he tells me everything is ship-shape except for the grease trap. And that grease trap now is about another $35,000 to $40,000 in expense. By granting him that 27-month extension, you allowed him to proceed with his business and not have to lay anybody off. He didn't furlough anybody. And he's changed that establishment to the type of establishment we need on Main Street. If any of you have been in there, you'll go in there, you'll see young kids, families, and old people like me all mingling in there. He serves, is it 55%?
Yep.
Food, yeah, 55 to 60% food. Yep.
And then if you do go in there, you will see that it's very rare that this business reaches its full capacity. The 197 seats inside and the 20 seats outside, the 217, it's rare. Could he get along with 133? Sure, but those rare occasions when he does reach his maximum capacity, are a big benefit to a small business. The coming Christmas stroll. People are coming in and out all the time. It gets a good crowd, and sometimes we'll get near or to the capacity. St. Patrick's Day is another one. On your average day, he's nowhere near that. So we're here again asking, and this time I'm not ranting and raving, we're here asking and pleading for another extension. I'm going to request 2 years. My client tells me he thinks that he can get it done after one more summer. So within a year, but I just don't want to have to come back in a year and request another one. To my knowledge, there's been no environmental harm. There have been no problems with the town sewer or the grease trap since my client took over and has religiously pumped it. And what we're asking here is not to do, there's no environmental harm. We're asking not to do any economic harm. Having him to reduces the value of his property, reduces his ability to make income, and could, I'm not going to say cost jobs, but it would have a significant impact on my client. He spent a lot of money to buy this business, to inherit this problem with no knowledge before. So we're asking for another 2-year extension on this existing condition of the grease trap that's been there since 2009. And I think you can confirm that it's been properly maintained ever since my client has taken over. I'd be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Thank you, John. Any public comment on this one? Staff?
Staff has no comment. It's a matter of 18-seat difference, is my understanding. So right now he's operating with 18 seats less, and that's our understanding.
No, it was a license for 197 seats inside and 20 seats outside for a total of 217. He's been told he has to reduce it down to 133. That's inside and outside combined. So it's a significant reduction. Now, he did recently submit a plan for 133 seats because his current variance extension expires on November 30th. So he submitted a plan to the Board of Health showing 133 seats so that he would not be in, he would still be in compliance if you do not grant this on November 30th. But we would like to stay at the 197 inside and 20 seats outside.
Well, this is, I'm telling you what Health Inspector Thomas Gagnon told me. There was a reduction of 18 seats to comply recently. Of course, we're not counting outdoor seats because it's
winter time. It was at when we took it over, occupancy was 197, and it was close to 154 seats, and it was 20 outside. When we go for outside seating, we take the 20 off. When we knew our variance was coming up, we've already moved the seats out. We're operating right now at what will be required if we didn't get the variance, just to be ahead of the game in case you said to us, we're not going to get the variance. Right now, we've already submitted drawings showing that the reduced seating is there. If we've outside seating, they take it off the inside, the 20 from the outside. We've removed the 20 tables already. They're due to be moved in November anyway. They're already gone. So right now we're at 133, but we've lost a lot of seats because of the grease trap variance. We are going to put a second one in. We have a price to do it. We just don't have the funds to survive keeping going in business to the point where in the next year we should be able to do it. But we're trying to get to 2 years, give us a little breathing room. But if we can get the year, our plan is to do. We do have quotes on it to do, and we have Robert Dower, who is scheduled when we get the funds together, get the breathing room. We're going to be able to go ahead and add a second grease trap to the one that's existing.
Des, to Tom's question, is it 150 some odd seats?
Yeah.
Oh, it is. I'm sorry, I misunderstood. Maybe the occupancy is 197.
Occupancy is 197.
Okay.
But the actual seating was
seating is different than occupancy.
Yeah.
We're not counting standing people.
Yeah.
We're counting just the seats.
Yeah, just the seats.
Yep.
So
I'm sorry, I misunderstood the number.
So it is an 18-seat reduction then indoors, correct?
No, it was more than that because I'd sent separate drawings in when they'd requested them, and we were going off the original permit that was there when we first bought the building because they had all the old permits still displayed, and it was over 155 seating. But we lose the seating on the outside. What we're trying to do is not, when we have 20 seats outside, is lose them on the inside. That's what we're trying to do as well. We're rarely at the 155 seating. It's a great day if we are, which is the difference between being able to pay the bills. If we get a good day where we can do that, plus it's ongoing during the day. It's never, like as John was saying, the big events like the Stroll Day or the open streets that they have, or Parade Day or St. Patrick's Day, that's when we get a flow coming in. But other than that, the business isn't there right now for the business on Main Street. It's slow. We're still struggling along. We haven't laid anybody off. We're still full employment. We're open 7 days a week, every day except for Christmas Day. So that's what we're doing. We're doing our best to survive. We just need a little bit of support for the next year to 2 years to be able to do this, add the second grease trap.
Have you met with the DPW and talked with them about what you're telling us?
Yeah, I haven't met with them. I've dealt with the health department constantly. I have, through them, spoke to the DPD. They're aware of what's going on, yes. Yep.
What's the ask?
I just want to answer, we did receive an email, Dr. Cana, from the DPW, from Griffin, the town engineer. He recommends continued reduction in seats to meet the 133. That's his recommendation. I'm sorry.
Is
Dr.
there
B.
any question that the grease trap is being maintained and is being pumped and is now in good shape?
When we bought the place and we found out what was going on with it, when we got a new company.
But I'm asking from...
There was an issue, I believe, 2 years ago.
Right, but have you confirmed what Mr. Kenny said, that...
pumping every quarter.
That
We
they're
don't
pumping
expect-
quarterly and...
Oh, if he has a record of that, we're fine with that.
Okay.
But as far as the repairs to that grease trap, I would defer that to DPW, whether that was...
It was done. As soon as we found out about it, Robert Hour came out, they replaced all the T's, pumped it out, checked everything. Everything's running perfectly ever since. It doesn't even get used to its maximum. We don't have enough business to even reach that. And we still have it pumped out every 3 months regardless.
I don't...
And we also have an under-sink grease trap as well inside.
I feel like I've rarely seen somebody come in with such a good faith effort and took a property that was in worse shape than anybody knew. Not the new owner nor the town knew how bad it was, and has done so much to fix it up and keep it going. And I hear a perfect plan in place to actually get to where we need to be, and so I just don't see any reason why we wouldn't go ahead and grant him the variance, but
What is the variance for? So a variance to allow 155 seats?
Yeah.
Yeah, maintain the current seats for another
155 or
2
whatever?
years until
Okay.
they can get the new grease trap in.
Got it, okay.
And then, at which point they'll be compliant.
Have you appealed that letter, that email or whatever Mr. McKean got from DPW saying what he just said? Have
No,
you
I did not
appealed
get a
that
correspondence.
with DPW? No.
That's just
I
the
did not receive it either.
Yeah.
So here's what I'm thinking. As you guys are speaking, I'm trying to make it easy for you guys. You should keep doing your quarterly pumping
Consideration.
and keep the record so that we can have the record for
We have
our
records of
health
everything.
department or for the DPW.
Yep.
And I think we can grant you, but not 2 years, but at least, maybe 12, 14 months to give you that time to fix up that grease trap. Is that fair?
That's fair. That's great. Thank you. Yep.
Thank you.
So moved.
For 14 months?
Yeah.
Okay, second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Thanks
Thank
a
you
lot.
all very much.
Just to clarify, it's a 14-month extension.
Right.
Yes.
Correct?
Right.
To operate, to continue operating the way
With the
he has
pumping.
been.
With the quarterly pumping,
Right. And what else? How many seats?
150.
What he's operating at.
155.
Yeah.
Come on and take a look. So it's a
Actually,
great little
the
restaurant.
building's never been in better condition. It's actually in good
Thank
condition.
you for doing that.
Thank you so much. Thanks a lot.
Appreciate that.
Thank you.
I read your menu, and it's really an amazing menu.
We kept everybody, we've laid off nobody, which is a plus. So
Yep.
we kept
Yeah. Thank you.
everybody's employed, and if someone visits Hyannis, there's a place open 7 days a week, where it's not just.
You could give Matthew a
There's a
job.
few open.
I need to go to the next one, preliminary
We got to
subdivision.
finish up, yeah.
Subdivision application review, Meth Eddy, Baxter Nye Engineering and Survey submitting an application for approval of preliminary planned Form B for the proposed subdivisions at 145 Barnstable Road, Hyannis, map parcel 327-244-001. Hi, Matt.
Hello, good evening. For the record, Matthew Eddy, professional engineer with Baxter Nye Engineering and Surveying, representing Cape Companies LLC. I'll be quick. I think this is fairly straightforward. This is a preliminary subdivision that was submitted to the planning board. We were before them a couple of weeks ago. It was approved as a preliminary. Really, the main intent of this subdivision is to grandfather the lot from zoning changes under Mass General Law. It's the address 145 Barnstable Road in Hyannis. It's 0.78 acres. We have 200 feet of frontage on Barnstable Road, 100 feet of frontage on Charles Street. It is the DMS district, downtown Main Street district. We're in the groundwater protection overlay. And the site is served by public sewer and public water, so there's no septic systems. The proposal is to just create two lots, a 12,367 square foot lot and a 10,190 square foot lot. We provided a 43-foot wide right-of-way that comes off of Barnstable Road to serve those two lots. And again, it'll be served by public water and public sewer. So I'm happy to answer any questions that you might have. Thank you.
So what is the subdivision?
It's just, the subdivision just creates two lots. You know, there's one existing lot. It just creates two individual lots. And under Mass General Law, and I'm sure you've probably seen a few of these, because I know a few have gone in front of the planning board.
Split the building in half?
It's the subdivision. The building would go away. If they ever actually developed it as two individual lots, you would raise demolition, everything that's on the lot, and then reconstruct. But it's really, the exercise is from a grandfathering standpoint for zoning. And that's allowed under Mass General Law, so.
There's no public here, so there's no public comments. Tom?
Oh, I'm sorry, I was just going to ask.
No, go ahead.
Is it going to be constructed as apartment buildings as far as you know, or?
Right now, it's just a proposed subdivision. There's no site plan. It's just a proposed subdivision to create two lots. That's all it is.
There's no building tied to it, just
There's no building. It's
subdivided into
a
two
subdivision to create two lots. It's all that's required under Mass General Law. And it's just to create two lots.
One building on two lots.
Yeah.
Well, there's an existing building. If you create the subdivision, and if it was developed in the future as two individual lots, you would demolish that existing building. You'd come in with some type of proposal for those two individual lots, which would go through site plan review, et cetera. Right. All this does is just to create two individual lots. That's all it is. And again, the intent is, from a grandfathering standpoint, it'll probably, the two-lot development would probably never happen. It's just it's a grandfathering mechanism.
Yeah.
Why is this a Board of Health issue?
It actually is a letter to the planning board as a recommendation that you would recommend tie into public sewer, tie into public water.
Yeah.
Under Mass General Law, it's required to go on a preliminary subdivision and a definitive. It's required to go to the planning board and to the Board of Health. That's why we're here.
And this is on sewer?
Correct.
The town sewer and the town water.
Great.
So
Motion to approve?
Second.
Second. I can write the letter with Tom and address to the planning board.
Yep.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much.
Yep.
Happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
Yeah, happy Thanksgiving.
You know, I remember when Dick Corsini
We make the
sold that.
motions and then
I'm
we have to
sorry?
vote for it.
I remember when
Good idea.
Dick Corsini used to own that.
All in
property.
favor?
Aye.
Sorry.
And then we have one set
Move
of,
to approve the minutes.
Oh, yeah.
second?
Yeah.
Aye.
Okay. Can we put a motion to adjourn?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. We are adjourning at 5:59.